All right, my love. It is time for episode 9 of the Strawberry Milk Podcast Quick Sip Reviews.
Let's
And
fucking
what are we talking
go.
about today, baby?
The Phantom Menace.
Ah, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, where it all started for me, at least.
My boy Darth.
Because I know you saw the original trilogy first, right?
I did.
What was your first Star Wars movie was A New Hope, right?
No, Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. I always thought you saw the fucking.
No, my brand loyalty is very severe, Empire.
I see. I saw this one first. I
Oh.
can't remember if I saw it with mom or with dad. Obviously not in theaters because I would have been
Yeah,
less than
fair.
2 at this time. But I know I saw it like at home. So I cannot recall what year it was, but this is the first one I saw. So obviously the nostalgia is heaviest here for me, but
Yeah, of
that's
course.
not going to stop me from giving it an objectively fair review.
Yeah, my objectively fair review of this is high because it's a banger.
Oh my. It is very much a banger, but not in the ways we remember.
Yes, it is.
Now, some of the criticism is valid.
No,
Well,
no,
just as the
when we
prequel.
rewatched it, I was like, damn, this is even more enjoyable than I remembered.
No, it is a very enjoyable watch, but as always, we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, we got to run down the basics. You guys know how this works, but for any new listeners, as unlikely as that may be,
Yeah,
that we have.
if you're a new listener, leave.
No,
Get
imagine
out.
we just see it actively just dropping on our engagement. Anyway, we run down some basic trivia about the movie, such as release date, length, any notable things that the actors or supporting staff have done, and then we go into our breakdown of the film. Quick housekeeping to get out of the way, right?
Huh?
Moving forward,
Oh,
I think that we're gonna do trilogies a different way.
probably in order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in order for starters, but then also we're probably gonna work on either molding them into like one whole review for when we're feeling antsy and want to do like a megasode, or finding out a way to kind of like copy paste some of the recurring information, if you will, or just not spend as much time on it.
Well, that's what we're doing right now, isn't it? We're just kind of
Well, yeah,
skipping over. We know our boys.
but this is going to be the official formula, if you will, because eventually we're going to do a Lord of the Rings one.
Oh,
Eventually, we're going to do Hunger Games.
oh.
Eventually, the multiple Spider-Man iterations.
Babe, did you know that the Hunger Games, the Reaping Day, is meant to be the 4th of July?
Yeah, because the colonies are the 13 colonies. It's a failed American Revolution.
No, but isn't that awesome? I didn't know it was the 4th of July. I thought it was something, but I didn't know it was the 4th.
Yeah,
That's neat.
it is pretty neat.
I like it.
Um.
Suzanne Collins, you've done it again.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, thank you for everybody that is showing us so much support. I've decided to
Yay.
start doing this in the beginning. That way, in case anyone has to shut us off before the end of the episode,
They
right?
shut us off the moment we start talking. They're like, oh, God.
Right? They're like, oh, they hear my voice. They're like, get this robotic ass motherfucker out of here. But anyway, thank you for all the support for anybody that likes us, follows us, subscribes to us. Even if you don't, if you just tune in and you give us a listen, because I'm like that. Sometimes there's like a bunch of people that I listen to, but I don't follow them.
Dude,
I
I'm
don't
terrible.
have notifications turned on.
I literally only listen. I'm so sorry. Oh,
How dare you
it's like I got
yawn
off
on
of
our
work.
show, babe?
No, I freaking
You know what? Penny will have your head for this.
Penny's busy.
Yeah, she's over there being a cat.
But you see, you made me forget what I was gonna say.
Exactly, and we got to get down these facts
This
here.
is horse shit.
So is it Phantom horse shit?
I'm gonna hang myself.
All right, so the Phantom Menace came out May 19th, 1999. Its length is 2 hours and 11 minutes.
You know what else is 2 hours and 11 minutes long?
Your mom.
Oh,
Yeah. But IMDb gives it an official rating of 7.3.
higher than I expected.
And you guys know how I feel about decimals. Fucking hate them.
I
Rotten
like a good
Tomatoes
decimal.
gives it a 59% for the audience rating
Whoa.
from 250,000 reviews. Now,
I'm gonna say something.
Well.
Review bombers are cowards.
the review bombers are cowards. However, the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes from like all the critics is, they like the algorithm or the AI, whatever the fuck they have going on that
Yeah.
website, scans and sees what like the common element is from like everyone's review, right? And people say, while it is entertaining and visually stunning, even for the time, like the CGI really hasn't aged that badly unless you look at those little like blue balls that the Gungans throw at people.
I think that they don't look
That was
bad.
terrible.
I think that what's worst is the CGI that they put over the old ones.
Yeah.
That looks like
Good lord, just
shit.
nightmarish in hell. But anyway, they say that like the fact that it is the beginning of the prequel trilogy, George Lucas kind of tried to stuff too much exposition into it.
Yes.
And after reading that, I kind of agree, but it does not deserve the slander
No.
that it has gotten over the years. But none of the prequel movies do, even though I said what I said about Attack of the Clones in our previous episode. But anyway, against a budget of 115 million, this thing brought in a whopping 1.027 billion
That's what the
dollars.
fuck I'm talking about. Let's
Jeff
go.
Bezos money.
Listen, all
It's
I'm saying
Kanye
is,
money. That's Riri money, babe.
all I'm saying is that these people can talk all their shit.
Money talks.
Money talks, and that is 1.027
George Lucas looking at all the
billion.
hate that Star Wars fans give the series. He's just looking at my watch. I got time today.
No, he's literally like, damn, that's wild.
wipes
Folds through his
well,
money.
wipes his tears with $100 bills. But anyway, the director, you already know, it's George Lucas. The guy made the fucking series. Of course, he's gonna direct.
He said, "I'm gonna do it myself."
The cinematography again. Our boy David
Davey.
Tattersall, 3 for 3 on
Yeah.
the prequel. Calling the
Well,
shots
babe,
of
if you
what's
think
what
that's
and what
amazing,
gets
you're
to be
never
on the
gonna
screen.
guess who the music's by.
Is his first name John?
It is.
Last name Williams?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's John Williams.
Oh my god.
Yet again, coming back for the music. Like we said, sadly, his involvement with Star Wars, at least from on his end, has stopped with Episode 9. But the prequels is peak John Williams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Actors, right? Recurring actors, the same thing. We got a lot of fresh faces for this one, but we also have a lot of familiar faces that we got to know throughout the prequel trilogy and that you guys are already familiar with because, again, we're fucking idiots. And I started us off doing this backwards. First, we have. Oh, wait, hold on one second. There's a small gnat that just landed on my tablet screen. Get the fuck away from me. There we go. It's dead. As problematic as the man is, Liam Neeson.
Wait, is he problematic?
Yeah, he said the N word.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 71-year-old man. Obviously, he's going to be racist.
Yeah.
Like anyone that's old, I just immediately assume that they're
They
a closet
quite
racist.
literally were around during segregation.
He is the voice of Aslan in Chronicles of Narnia. For
Who?
those of you guys who have never seen Chronicles of Narnia, that's the lion. The do not cite the deep magic to
Yeah.
me witch. Yeah.
Delightful.
He was also, the main character in Taken, which I think is his most iconic role. I really liked that movie growing up, but all the dilemmas with him as a person makes me not really rewatch a lot of his shit. He also played Zeus in Clash of the Titans.
There you go.
He released the Kraken. Remember when everyone made memes out of that?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
God, we were really starved for content back in the day. But reprising his role, or I guess in this case, it would be starting his longtime role as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman kicking off her stint as the Queen of Naboo.
Woo!
Jake Lloyd playing young Anakin. And can I just say, y'all really bullied that boy out of doing anything else because he hadn't been in shit.
No, he literally tried to kill himself.
Yeah, he did some voice lines in the video games. I think he's been in like a few very short films. And, obviously they do the docu-series like Becoming Anakin Skywalker or Star Wars, the magic behind and all that. But joining him in undeserved hate is Ahmed Best.
That was
who is the voice and mocap actor for Jar Jar Binks. Now, is Jar Jar Binks an annoying character? Yes. Did his actor deserve all the hate and death threats and everything? No.
No, there's a reason why
And
Star Wars fans have a certain reputation. And
Yeah.
it's because consistently.
Also, I think it was racially motivated.
Absolutely, it was racially motivated.
However, the Chronicle Son always returns, and he got to.
Chronicle Son?
Isn't it the Chronicle Son?
Prodigal.
The
or
Prodigal? I've heard both.
Prodigal Son.
No shit, I've heard both.
Chronicle is a time.
Either way, our boy always comes back to us, and he got to have a little spotlight in season 3 of The Mandalorian because he is the Jedi that saved Grogu or Baby
looks
Yoda.
Great.
He looks pretty dope. It was pretty cool getting to see him back on screen. He also played Bob Marley in the documentary about Bob Marley.
Oh wow,
that's pretty dope. I had never known that existed, but I was like, that's fucking cool. With that out of the way, we now get to go into our discussions.
Yeah.
That was fucking terrible.
I had to sing a little song.
What song was that?
Yeah.
Babe, you're getting too much podcast into our movie review.
I apologize.
But anyway,
My bad.
my love, lead us off here. What do you think about the movie overall?
I think overall it's a banger. I think that Star Wars is a delightful little series. When I was a child, I thought this one in particular slapped because I thought Darth Maul was the coolest. I thought he was the greatest villain ever. I thought he was that fucking guy. It's a
I
good
mean,
movie.
yeah, for an initial entry into what would be, our
I thought Padme was cute.
generation's
So
spark of interest in the Star Wars series, it's really strong. It really, to me, it puts its best foot forward, right? Like
yes.
I keep saying, and I've said consistently throughout the series that we've done covering these three films, all of the prequels suffer from weak writing. That is no fault of the actors.
Nope.
They have a character to portray, and they're told how to portray it with a little wiggle room, either to the left or to the right. All of the faults of this movie specifically fall on the directive staff, the supporting staff, if you will.
Yeah.
Is there it does it kind of take a while to, is that cold open cold as fuck? Yes, it is. However, I really do like the effects. I like how they've aged. I do like the amount of acting that every character is putting in. Again, except for Samuel L. Jackson, because he's just collecting a fucking paycheck
Yeah,
throughout
well,
the entire Is he even in the first film? Yes, he is.
get your money up, not your
He
funny
is
up.
in he is in the first film. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson and Nicolas Cage are kind of like the same thing. They play the same person in every movie. It's just them as that role. You
I'd
know
say
what I
Tom
mean?
Hanks is also like that.
Yeah. Tom Hanks is all. Vince Vaughn was also like that.
I love Tom Hanks so much. I'm so sad.
Yeah, he was on Epstein's list, but so was Phil Collins. Man, I was really sad
I,
to see Phil Collins. But anyway, I think this is a really strong start
you know who
to
wasn't on that
what would
list?
shape up to be a very strong trilogy. Now, my love, you touched upon Darth Maul. Darth Maul
My
is
boy.
cooler than Vader to me. I don't give a fuck. Fight me. I know my dad's listening to this, shaking his head wherever he's
He
listening
got
to
two
this at.
lightsabers.
Not even two
No,
lightsabers,
it's
it's a
just
double bladed
double bladed.
lightsaber.
You know how much? You know how much
He
that fucks me
looks.
up?
This dude looks evil.
He literally looks okay. Like as a kid, right? I had watched Empire. I'd watched the originals, and then
Yeah.
I finally put this on, right? Because my family hated it.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I could be completely wrong, but I remember my family not wanting to ever watch this one. So I finally watched it, and I was like, "This motherfucker got a double-sided lightsaber."
He's so fucking cool. I know a lot of the designs for a lot of the stuff in the movie was made to sell toys and yada yada yada. They did that with the original trilogy too, right? Look at those little fucking
No
Ewoks,
Star Wars fans when their movies are geared towards kids.
right? But it would make sense that your parents wouldn't want to watch it because they would be the age demographic that was giving it shit at this time. They would have been what, in like
Yeah.
their 30s?
Uh,
Yeah, their 30s.
40s,
No,
50s.
30s, 30 something,
No,
about to enter their
my
40s.
parents.
Yeah, your dad was 60, born in 1960. So
Yeah.
this is 1999. He'd be 39.
Wow.
My love, are you not mathing? What is happening?
I thought you meant like when I watched it.
No. I mean, like, it would make sense that they're bitching about it then because when it came out,
Yeah.
they would be the voice being like, this movie fucking
You're right.
sucks,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I
Sorry.
don't
I
I
was
don't
confused.
know all of what released in 1999, right? I know, what was it, Jurassic Park, or was that 97?
I have no idea. I don't know. I wasn't alive. I don't know.
Yeah, this is why we need to be a dedicated producer. We just teach Penelope how to type shit in. But anyway, I don't know, like the first time, right? Because this is just going to be a segue into my favorite scene, which I think we both share the same one. It's
Yeah.
the duel between Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon.
Iconic. The
Oh my
music,
god, just the
the
way
score.
that it's set up, right? You have what you think is going to be the climax of the film with them getting to liberate Naboo after rescuing all of the prisoners, right?
Yeah.
However,
I loved all the
it's
Naboo scenes though. I love.
immediately subverted as you just see this dark hooded figure that we've seen throughout the film,
Yeah.
right? Because the Emperor and Maul are present throughout the film. You usually see them as holograms. You get to see Darth Maul doing his scouting mission, hunting the two Jedi on
He has
Tatooine,
a cool thing
and then
of
you also
freaking
get to see,
binoculars.
yeah, and his bike. I liked his speeder bike. Like when he just drops off the cliff, I was like, only a badass would
I
do
like
that.
all the noises. I really did like the Naboo scenes though.
Yeah.
I love Padme in this.
Dude, Naboo is
I
always
love
beautiful.
Padme in every moment.
I think Padme loves Padme. It's
Oh.
hard. It's hard not to love Natalie
Yeah,
Portman.
if you look at Padme, you don't think, you think,
But anyway, seeing all that be subverted, right? Even after Qui-Gon and Maul's like little skirmish on Tatooine, right?
Yeah.
He's literally just standing there in the hangar waiting for the smoke. Like he's standing in front of the door,
Yeah.
and like all of the grunts and pilots and everything that they rescue just walk past him. He's like, it's light work. He's not even looking at him. He knows they can't even touch him. Says nothing. Takes off his cloak, which prompts the other two to take off their cloaks.
Yep.
Ignites their lightsabers, and gets down to business.
He says, let's do it.
And oh my god, I completely forgot to mention Darth Maul's actor.
You did.
Holy crap, babe. While I do that and pull it up on my phone, tell the folks what we're sipping on for your TSMP sponsored drink of the episode day. What are we going to name
We're
this
not going
segment?
to name it anything. It's not a real segment.
We're
Right
gonna we're
now,
gonna jingle the ice by the microphone while I Google what this guy's name
Here we
is.
go. Here we go. Here we go. You can't even hear it. It's a plastic cup. All right, listen.
You
listen.
really fumbled that.
Mm. Yeah.
Keep
So,
going.
as somebody that works at Starbucks, I feel inclined, nay, morally obligated to let everybody know that the chai concentrate that we use is the Tazo brand, right? That's period. That's it. That's what it is. So they sell that at most grocery stores, most major retailers, including my work.
And we're back. His name is Ray Park,
The fuck?
and he's actually
Martial
a
artist?
really good martial artist, which is why, to me, and for so long until I replaced it in our episode where we talked about episode 3. This was my favorite lightsaber duel simply because of the acrobatics and just how natural
It's so
it seems. Because he
impressive.
did all of his own stunts,
Hell yeah,
right?
he did.
Being limited by the makeup melting and getting in his eyes, the little limited prosthetics they had to put on him.
Oh,
He's
I
in a
have a fun
leather
fact.
getup. His earring, yeah, right.
Why do you ruin everything?
Because
for
it's
me?
the same fun fact, my love. Would you like to tell it?
Yes.
Then speak
So the reason
into the
why
microphone.
So the reason why Darth Maul has an earring is because the actor literally just had one and forgot to take it out.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so now
That's it.
he
I just
looks
think
like a
that's cool.
bad bitch in every iteration. We get it in the Clone Wars. Even in the Han Solo story where he's like a hologram at the end, you can still see that little earring
He's
right
that
there in
guy.
that ear. He is that fucking guy. But it's just I don't know. Like this guy looks like an evil dude, and I like that so much because I don't think movie villains get enough credit. Like watching Infinity War and Endgame, I was like, bro, Thanos really isn't out of pocket for what he's doing.
I think he was out of pocket.
Like when he talked about shredding the universe down into its, atoms and everything. But in the first movie where he's just like half painlessly, right?
Yeah.
They just fade out of
But
existence.
it's
I was
not
like,
painlessly for everyone that's left.
resources. I mean, look how much the pollution and everything. Like, look how much the world healed in the small time everybody was shut down during COVID.
That was nice.
Yeah. But anyway, I can say that because I was also one of the people. You can go to that website. It's like, would you have survived the snap?
Yeah.
I got no every single time I did it. Even when I cleared cookies, cleared cache, did it. It is just my fate to die, and I'm okay with that.
I got yes every single time.
Great or good.
Why do I have to live?
But anyway, Darth Maul, one of the coolest fucking movie villains ever. One of the best duelists. One of the coolest Force users. Better than Darth Vader as a villain, in my opinion. You can cry to your mother about it.
Damn.
Argue with yourself in the comments.
Damn.
But my love, what do you like about that scene?
Everything you just said.
Everything I just said.
It's a wonderful scene. The music, though, the music sells it. I like when all the barriers are going up.
Oh, the ray shields and all that.
Yeah, and Qui-Gon just meditates.
It creates excellent pacing. It creates a great visual dynamic about the differences between the Jedi philosophy when it comes to combat, and the Sith philosophy when it comes to combat. Because Darth Maul was trained to be a Sith assassin.
Yeah.
Sith assassins specialize in seeking Jedi out and either covertly or just outright murdering them and then skedaddling onto either their next mission or back to their master. And that's also what makes this scene and this duel so cool. And, has a lot of nostalgia for me because that's the first time on screen besides a horror movie like Jeepers Creepers where I saw the bad guy take a win if it was only for a second, right? Because spoiler alert for a movie that's, almost pushing, what is it, fucking came out in 99. So in 6 years, it'll be 30. So what is that, 24? For a movie that's, almost as old as I am. Darth Maul dies, quote unquote, at the end because, in the Clone Wars, he comes back and we learn that through sheer hatred for Obi-Wan, he just stayed alive somehow.
I gotta say something.
It's more realistic than Palpatine Returns.
I was gonna say it's bullshit.
How so?
It's bullshit. He's chopped in half. He falls down in bottomless shit. He's dead.
Yeah, but you can use the Force. Remember, he fell down the. So the official thing is he fell down the shaft, right?
Yeah.
And then he fell into some service chute and got hauled away to that garbage planet.
Yeah, while he's half.
I know, but a lightsaber cauterizes.
It doesn't change the fact you're chopped in half.
Cauterized. He's chopped in half at the waist. So
Yeah, yeah,
really, there's nothing like all the arteries and veins, in theory, with this lightsaber would have been cauterized, so he wouldn't have bled out.
yeah. It's like
And then
his
just use.
intestines are fucked,
Yep.
bladder
I
gone.
mean, how do you know that his species, which is I don't a Zabrak? Yeah, they're Zabrak because they come from Dathomir. How do you know that their physiology is the similar to humans? They're just
It just
humanoids.
all seems like
It
just
is very much yada yada, but
that's what it
it's
was.
it's
Thank
it's a
you.
lot better than somehow Palpatine
That was just
returned.
fucking lazy.
That was fucking terrible. I felt offended at
You know what?
that.
Hot take, hot take. Let dead people stay dead.
Yeah. Well, I do like Maul because with like the books and comics, there's a lot that goes on to his backstory. So to have Obi-Wan just cleanly chop through him seems like a waste of the character. Like I'm metagaming myself, right?
Yeah,
And they did it well. They brought him back at a pivotal point in the Clone Wars series. It did nothing but add positive content
yeah.
and added good plot lines to the show.
Well, yeah, because he probably ran out of ideas.
No, they thought out this idea.
Hmm.
When I thought, where I think they started running out of ideas, was around the time where they had the whole
We're getting off
subplot
topic.
of the clones. Yeah, we are.
We're getting off topic.
Um, what about your least favorite scene, my love? What do you got going on
Oh,
here? You got to have it. Yeah, thank you, Penelope. See, Penelope and me have the same least favorite. While you think of yours, I will
oh
continue.
no, I got
Oh,
it.
here we go. What is it?
When Jar Jar is like walking through Tatooine, right, like the markets or whatever.
Oh, and he steps in.
Yeah, when he steps in something, but it's how he slurps the food.
Oh, and he shoots out his tongue and eats all
Yeah,
the
not a
food.
fan.
It's like, how much is that? 20 whoop 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 whoop. And he fucking.
Yeah, no, don't like it.
They really just use the Gungans as like the butt of a lot of jokes. What sucks is because they're actually pretty good warriors. Like the reason that they live underwater
Yeah,
is because they choose to. Back in the day, they called the surface people, the humans that live on Naboo, the Naboo. Back in the day, there was wars, right, about who gets to control the planet. The Gungans were fucking them up.
yeah.
I forget exactly what happened and what caused them to be like, this isn't even worth it, and they just took to the waterways. But yeah, no, they are about that life.
They said, "All right,
They're really cool. Like they're actually like a warrior race, even though they're made to seem like,
dude, their force fields are so cool." I love the scene where they're fighting
oh
like the
yeah,
droids. Like that is such a cool fucking scene for me. I
you're
love the
gonna hate you're
sounds.
gonna
I
hate me.
love like the little energy balls. I love the force fields. I think it's such a cool scene.
You're absolutely gonna hate me.
Why? What did you?
That's my least
No
favorite scene.
fucking.
No,
You're
so
fucking.
no, my least
Oh,
favorite scene. It's so the Gungans versus the
oh,
droid army, right? Because
it's
at the
so
same time
good.
that Maul is fighting Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, the Gungans are fighting the main force of the droid army in some random field on Naboo,
It's
and
beautiful.
then Kid Anakin and all the pilots are taking out the dropship in
Oh,
space.
you know what? That's
Because fun fact, all the droid, and this is why they stopped doing it in the first one, right?
okay.
All the droids are controlled from one central ship. And in the second and third ones, how they don't have that anymore, they kind of do for the bulk of their forces. But some of the droids get like a personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's because Anakin blows up that first ship, and they're like, "Huh, maybe this isn't the best idea."
I changed my answer.
Yeah.
My least favorite scene is Anakin fucking somehow whoopsing his
Oh,
way
that's
up and
that.
blowing everything
Yeah,
up.
no, that's
Bullshit.
in my thing as well.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I just I don't
I
like it.
went
It just
I went
makes
on
the
a rant while we
Gungans.
watched it.
Yeah, like, and what I hate is, so what you hate about Anakin doing that is what I hate with this scene with the Gungans versus the droids. I really feel like instead of focusing on how cool these fucking people could be fighting for a planet that they're obviously a part of,
Yeah.
that they finally decided to put along centuries old beef and be like, you know what? No, this is a common enemy and we cannot stay out of it. I
Yeah.
hate a middle ground ass bitch.
No.
Um, and they just kind of make them oopsie daisy through the whole battle. Like the Gungans are either,
Jar Jar is a problem.
yeah, Jar Jar is a problem. But like, the Gungans are either shown on screen dying or it's just Jar Jar and he's like fucking about and like
Yeah.
he makes shit happen to where the droids just end up dying anyway. Like they really just treat him as cannon fodder. And I think that's just disrespectful as all hell. Honorable mentions though for the favorite scene, the pod racing. I love the pod racing scene. It's so cool. Doesn't really contribute anything to the story other than Qui-Gon, winning the bet to get Anakin's freedom from Watto. Um, but gives us the whole, Now this is pod
Dude,
racing
I
thing.
loved the pod racing. I still think they need to make a ride about it. I feel like it's lazy that
It's
they
so cool. I
haven't.
love the video games that spawn from it. I love seeing
I
Sebulba's
love the
bitch ass get
sounds.
his
I
just
love
desserts.
the sounds. And I love that this is literally just a kid who's like, you know what?
It's
I wanna race.
that little iguana looking alien that dies in the tunnel.
Yeah,
They give it such a sad backstory.
I don't wanna know.
He was racing for his wife and kid to get money because I forget exactly what they needed, but then he just fucking dies in the race.
Dude, all
It's
I'm saying
so
is that
oh my
Sebulba had
god.
full straight up beef with a slave 10-year-old.
Well, Dougs are kind of assholes.
Yeah, but he had straight up like
Just like
life
anybody, I feel like
beef.
anybody named Doug is an asshole.
Yeah.
But anyway, honorable mention for the least favorite scene is Anakin's space battle,
Yeah,
if
fuck
we can
that.
call it that. But that's actually a big part of my cons, because for my cons, it's obviously the weak writing.
Yeah.
The dialogue isn't as bad as episode 2. Like I said, I feel like they were trying to get their footing for the first episode. They kind of sold out in the second one, but then the third one, they know they got to bring home that bacon, that nice space
Rent
bacon.
was due.
Yeah, rent was due. I don't like Kid Anakin. I
Yeah.
don't. It's not Jake Lloyd's fault. It is never the actor's fault unless the actor in real life is a bigot.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that the
He was a
bowl
kid,
no,
bro.
no, the bowl cut was an interesting choice.
Hey, if it had been like a decade later, it would have been in the Bieber Bowl.
Oh
If they
god.
made this in like the 2010s, Anakin would have had a
I feel
Bieber
like they
Bowl.
would have just shaved his head.
Nah, he would have had a Bieber Bowl.
Oh,
I don't like Watto.
I don't like Watto.
Watto is just
I like that
dirty
he's immune
and
to the
is
Jedi mind
grimy.
tricks.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. He's like, only money, right?
I like that.
That was an inside joke with mom and I for a bit when I'd be like, but mom, instead of me doing all of these chores to go outside, I could just go outside, right? She's like, oh, Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
Only
Only money,
money.
right? I just have to wash the dishes or some shit. Um, I agree, like I said earlier, with Rotten Tomatoes thing, where it's just burdened by how much exposition. Because in this, we get to see how Jar Jar Binks came into play. We get to see 3PO. We get to see how R2 came about. We get to see who exactly Padme was and her connection to Anakin throughout the
Love
series.
Padme.
We
I
get to
love
see why
Padme.
Anakin's so fucking angry, rightfully so, because for his whole life, he was a slave on a desert planet with two suns getting beat by a fat blue alien.
And also everybody consistently lies to him.
Yeah, everybody
Every
consistently
single
lies to him.
person.
We're not even going to touch on the whole midichlorian bullshit, but I also just don't like that space battle. I can't
Don't like
fucking
it.
stand it.
Don't
They're like,
like
well, I'll
it.
try spinning. That's a neat trick. In real life, this kid would have been shot and suffocated in the vacuum of space. However, even with all
Out
those
with the
cons,
Force.
yeah, even with all of those cons, I still believe that, nostalgia aside, the movie has really good effects, decently aged. It has really good humor. Every
Yeah.
movie, no matter how serious, even if it's Oscar bait, has to have some nicely timed humor. And this one really delivers on that, as well as the fight choreography. A lot of people criticize the prequels for having too choreographed of fights,
Fuck
but
off.
the Star Wars fan base can never be satisfied because they blame the sequel trilogy for not being choreographed enough. But if we want to sit here and rant about the sequels, we would be here all day. And I
All
think we should
day.
save that for when we actually have to rant about the sequels, which we will be doing after we review the original trilogy.
Oh. What?
I'm saying I'm not going to do sequel rant right now because there'll be time for that later
Oh,
during
okay.
the
Okay.
episodes for
Yeah.
the sequel.
Yeah.
But my love, what would you give this movie?
7.
A 7?
7.
Solid 7?
Solid 7.
High or low?
Low.
All right. Of the 3, how would you order it from your most liked to least liked of episodes 1, 2, 3?
Attack of the Clones. Phantom Menace. Revenge of the Sith.
You like Revenge of the Sith? Revenge of the Sith. You like the third episode the least out of all 3?
No, I like that one and Attack of the Clones the same. But I can't say that in a ranking.
Very well. For nostalgia's sake, right? Because for me, I like to take a slightly more objective view with these movies. Because I will
Cowardice.
say it again,
Cowardice.
all Star Wars movies are objectively good.
Yeah.
All Star Wars shows are objectively good.
Yeah.
With that being said, with nostalgia, I give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Yep.
But just like with The Dark Crystal, my tastes and expectations have changed
Dark
as
Crystal
I've
was a
gotten
horror
older.
movie.
So realistically, I give The Phantom Menace a 6 out of 10. This
Okay.
is in no fault of the actors. Everyone is actually acting except Samuel L. Jackson in this movie.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great. It's one of like the favorite things about our yearly Star Wars marathon. I look forward to watching this movie. All in all, with the prequel trilogy, I give it an 8 out of 10 for all three movies collectively as a like unit together.
You know what? I respect that. I respect that.
That being said, episode 3 is my favorite.
Okay.
Then The Phantom Menace,
Okay.
and then Attack of the Clones is my least favorite. Like it's all like
Yeah.
even as a kid, it was always my least favorite. Like I remember watching Attack of the Clones and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I loved watching Padme and Anakin fall in love.
It was very nice watching them fall in love. However, you have to actually look because the dialogue and the sequences that play out on screen behind it are kind of just cheesy and corny.
I love cheesy and corny.
No, like
I love
two
corn cheese.
corn cheese from Jen. But anyway,
Oh, Jen.
thank you guys again for all the support for this podcast. I'm
Yay.
trying to do a better job about sticking to the schedule. This week it was on me. I was just so really tired from work.
Yeah, guys,
And
did
then
you know that
also
when you
I got to
work
get more consistent about posting on TikTok, even though I tried yesterday and apparently something's going on with them. But anyway,
did you guys know that when you both work full time, you get tired?
all right. And then also Lucio Ball is happening in Overwatch right
Lucy.
now. And we all know how I fucking
And
love some
and
Lucio
we're all
Ball.
playing Minecraft.
That too. But anyway, follow us on Spotify,
Yeah.
Anchor, wherever
Yeah.
you see us at. Follow
Yeah.
us on TikTok.
You
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you again to anyone and everyone who supports this podcast, either monetarily or through viewership. See you guys next time.